Hey friends, welcome back to Inspired by Real Estate. You know, we're a network of expert advisors dedicated to real-time information, educating and inspiring you with the inside scoop on all things real estate related, so that we can bring some peace and tranquility to your life, ultimately to help you with reaching financial freedom. You know, whether you're a buyer and you're purchasing your first home or this is your fifth house, the home buying process can create lots of emotions and stress, and one of the best ways to ensure that the process is not overwhelming is for a buyer to be well educated and properly prepared for the process. There's no dumb question, and I'm sure that we've heard every question, so you're not going to catch us off guard. But if you have a question, you just need to ask. So the last couple of weeks, we've been looking for your dream house. We finally found it. We wrote a contract. They accepted the offer. Congratulations. Now what? Questions people ask after the contract is accepted. Normally, the first question they ask is, what's the next step? Between contract acceptance, meaning the seller has agreed to your price, and the closing date, when we sign all the loan documents and the deed of trust, there are many things to be completed. In a nutshell, after an offer is accepted, generally any inspections will be completed. Inspections are things like home inspection, pest inspection, roof inspection. We recommend a home inspection because the expert advisors will uncover anything that you may have not noticed and the seller didn't tell you about. Over the years, I've seen home inspections uncover things that help save the buyer thousands in repairs and undisclosed damages. Sometimes the buyer decided the problems are too much and they decide not to purchase the home. I've also seen people skip the home inspection and later find water damage, and it costs them thousands to repair. After the inspections are complete, we do an appraisal. The appraiser comes to the house that you want to buy, and he compares it to all the other houses in that area that have sold in the last 90 days. This will tell us how much your house is really worth. Regardless of how much the contract states, the home appraisal tells us the value. So what if the house doesn't appraise for the sales price? Well, we have some options. One, you can pay the difference. Number two, you can ask the seller to lower the sales price. Or three, although rare, you can just walk away and say, forget it. Most of the time, the contract is written in a way to protect you from paying more than the house is worth. I mean, you don't go to McDonald's and give them $10 for a Big Mac meal when the menu says it's $5. Our expert advisors will help you decide what's the best option. When buying a home, finding the perfect home is only one part of actually becoming a homeowner. The mortgage process should be complete, but depending on how long you have been looking for a house, we may need to update some documents. We may need to lock in your interest rate and make sure that you're happy with the terms of the mortgage. So the other question that people ask is, what is all this insurance? I got title insurance, I may have mortgage insurance, homeowner's insurance. Great question. Title insurance is the policy that ensures you own the house and all of the seller's liens are paid off. The contract specifies who is paying for title insurance. Typically, the seller pays for title insurance, but each contract is different and each area is different, so you, the buyer, could be paying for title insurance. Typically, it's 1% of the sales price, so $1,000 per $100,000 in sales price. You need an expert advisor on your side making sure you're protected because the seller's not going to pay for it out of his kindness. So let's talk about a minute about mortgage insurance. Mortgage insurance is the insurance that you pay that covers the mortgage company in case you don't pay your mortgage payments. The cost of the mortgage insurance is paid for by you, the buyer, and the cost depends on lots of factors. How much was your down payment? What type of loan do you have? What is your credit score? This is where an expert mortgage advisor can save you thousands of dollars. An FHA loan always has mortgage insurance regardless of the size of the down payment. A conventional type loan has mortgage insurance if you have less than 20% down payment. The lower the down payment, usually the higher the cost of the mortgage insurance. The lower the credit score, the higher the cost of the mortgage insurance. We have a tool that compares all types of loans and shows you the costs, and we can help you make the best decision. It's really all just math, and when you see the math, it usually makes the decision fairly easy. Finally, we can talk a little bit about homeowners insurance. Homeowners insurance is like car insurance for your house. It covers theft, fire, hail damage, most importantly, risk insurance in the event that someone is hurt on your property and they expect you to pay for their medical bills, or they just decide to sue you for whatever reason. Last but not least, we will analyze the survey. This is a drawing of your house and your property lines to make sure you know what you're buying. Is your fence on your yard or is it on your neighbor's yard? Is the pool built over a utility easement? Rarely do we have issues with a survey, but it's important to check before we close. One of the other questions people ask when they write a contract and it's been accepted is, do I need a final walkthrough? As a buyer, you have the option to perform a final walkthrough. Is a final walkthrough a requirement? No. Is it necessary? I would say yes. Generally, when buying a home, several weeks go by between when you last walked through the house and when we close. Lots of things can change during that time. When doing a final walkthrough, a few things you should check is, were the windows treatments that were negotiated, are they still there? Are there no problems like a big rip in the carpet or the kitchen caught on fire? Was there a big hailstorm last night and we want to make sure everything's okay? All those things are just a walkthrough to make sure everything's just like we thought it would be. Another question people ask is, well, when is the closing date? When buying a home, the excitement level is extremely high. It's important to understand that the closing date is in the purchase offer. And so the target date that we put in that contract is the day that we're going to close. Now, some mortgage companies will say, well, that's not a guarantee. That's why communication and picking the right mortgage person is super important. Before you hire the movers and take time off from work, you need to know when the closing date is and what time you have to be there. Final thoughts for you. With a buying home, be prepared and well educated can make a huge difference. Again, no question is a dumb question, and if you're unsure of something, you need to ask. The home buying process begins before you ever look at one home, and the process continues all the way up through the final walkthrough and closing. When buying a home, it's critical you're on your game. Stay organized, remain focused through the entire process. Our expert advisors are here to help you all along the way. We can help save you thousands and take the stress out of your way. Feel free to give me a call or shoot me a text or an email. You can find my website at inspiredbyrealestate.com or anthonypatton.loan. Hope you have a great week. Talk to you real soon.